He's got the
Yeah,
stash. He's got the everything.
he's the best. The fro, the stash,
Why
the
he look
personality.
like he's in the adult film industry?
He do have the stash. He looks like he's on an ad for doctors hate this one trick. Just saying.
What's clapping, everybody? Welcome back to Anime Intervention. This is episode 12. We were out last week, but we're back. We are back. I'm your host, BMG, here with my co-host, Clean Bean.
What's good? What's good?
Last time we were here, we did the Dragon Ball episode. It was pretty good. It was fire. I'd say it's like a hit. Not really, but kind of. Everybody's liking the shorts and stuff that we're posting, so that's great. Got a lot of views there. But we're going to keep this ball rolling. We're going to do, this episode's going to be One Piece. And then we're going to rope around to Bleach. And then we're going to do Naruto. And I don't know if we discussed this last episode, but we're definitely going to try and see if we could do them like in parts. So we're going to do like a part one and part two. For this one today, we'll do something akin to like splitting One Piece in half almost. But yeah, we'll get into that in a second. First, hey, Clean Bean, I got to ask you, what you been watching?
What have I been watching? All right, so Ghost Stories, dub. That's the
Those
first thing.
stories.
Yes. Ghost Stories, dub. Out of pocket, just straight up. Whatever they want to say, I will definitely say it is lived up to my expectation. I knew it was going to be funny, hilarious, witty, and has been all those three things combined and more.
So my question to you is, would you say that that's probably like, if not the funniest anime that you've seen simply because of the fact that they were off the rails, unhinged?
I feel like
Or would you still say that Prison School and like the other ones are just so top tier that it's like, wait a minute.
it's so hard to like pinpoint, but like I feel like Prison School, Grand Blue, and Aho Girl, Asobase,
Konosuba maybe?
Konosuba, like all those are like hilarious. And it's hard to like put one above the other because they all have like their own unique quirks. Even what was it? I forgot the Daicho Nichijo. Oh, sorry, yeah, Nichijo.
No, Nichijou?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
that
funny.
one. That one's hilarious
Yeah,
as well. Like that's definitely one of my favorites. But no, I can't put one over the other.
I even say that Love is War has that like supreme funny comedy aspect to it as well. I mean, I don't know if I put it like above the others, but like it's definitely within the list.
Yeah, easily.
Okay.
But
So
yeah.
you've been watching Ghost Stories? All right.
Oh,
What else?
Oshinoko.
Oh, you started it?
I started
Okay,
it.
all
I'm
right.
on episode, I believe, 5-ish or so.
So you're starting to see what I'm trying to say. Every single episode for the past few episodes, I've been like, yeah, listen, y'all need to hop on Oshinoko because goddamn.
Yeah, like it has been very exciting and exhilarating to see what motivates certain characters and like even the new character, the one that's the author of the play that they're trying to make.
Yeah.
Seeing how much her work, like how it's so important to her, and trying to get it like translated to a screenplay, like seeing the behind the scenes, what needs to be done. Like you have to have communication between the author, the producer, their assistants, the screenplay writer, and just seeing how it can possibly change because of the fact that you're making a screenplay. Like you have to do alterations, but you want to still like, adhere to what the original aspects of the story is that makes it so great.
It's very complex. And I think that's why Oshinoko is like taking the cake right now. I mean, I ain't gonna say that it's anime of the year yet, but like it was my anime of the year last year because it just proved to me that anime could do just so much. It's ridiculous. But like this year, I don't know. It's a maybe for me. Solo Leveling's a big hit. Kaiju number 8 was like it was doing it for me. So my votes are definitely gonna, I guess, be all over the place. But maybe like 2 episodes from now, we'll talk about what's coming out in the fall because fall is looking
stacked.
delicious. We're gonna talk about that, but not today. Not today. We gotta save that for later. Save that for later.
Okay.
Was that it for you?
Yeah, that's about it. Just those two.
All right.
Couple others I'll probably catch up on. But what have you been watching?
besides Oshinoko. Slime, what I will say about Slime is it's in the phase where it's sort of doing a lot of world building, a lot of expedition setup to make sure that we're all ready for what's going to come in the future. I read the mangas, so I know kind of what happens. I mean, there's people who've read the actual like the light novel, so they know what happens later on down the line. But I'm aware of what happens, so I kind of know where the story's going to go. So if there are people who are a little skeptical about where the show is going, if you wonder if it's like taking too much of a soft core turn, don't worry. Shit's coming. It's just not going to happen until maybe closer to the like latter half of the season. I think we're at like episode 20 or something. I forget how many episodes it's going to be. Maybe 25? Not sure. But regardless, stick with it. Y'all will enjoy it. Hellsing. I am almost done. Not really almost done. I'd say I'm almost halfway through with Hellsing Ultimate. Right, because I watched the original Hellsing and I said I was going to go back to Ultimate, see the differences and just compare and contrast. So I will eventually talk about that once I'm done. Probably like 2 episodes from now, I'll probably mention it because I'm watching so many things at the same time. I can't just, just gotta balance. So, but I will say I'm loving Hellsing Ultimate way more than just regular Hellsing, the original. They're doing so much more to the story. They're, I guess, adhering more to the manga as well. So there's a lot going on that just, it makes it a better story overall for me. The world building is excellent within Ultimate.
Cool.
And the music's good. Music's good.
Ah, music, yes.
Yeah. But yeah. You want to start today's episode?
Today we got a banger.
Oh yeah. We got a guest too. We got a guest for the last one. We got a guest for this one. But this guest is a little different. This is our homie who handles the camera. All right. I mean, to be fair, JoJo does sometimes handle sound and camera as well. But like this other one, got some skill. So let's hear it for our boy, Random Dynasty. Come on in.
Yes, sir.
Yo.
Yes, sir.
What's good, homie? How you been? Ready for this episode?
Yeah, going good.
Let's get it. I'm glad to have you on the show, homie.
Good to be here.
Always doing the work with the camera and the audio here and there. So listen, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. So let me ask you before we start.
All right, good.
When did you start One Piece?
When did I start One Piece? I
Yeah.
started One Piece first with the 4 Kids dub.
Oh, with the Sanji Sigurd. I mean, the lollipop Sigurd, yeah.
The Lollipop, Ace's Trace, we're not going to get into Crocodile, and the One Piece rap. And then I took a long break from most things anime. And then,
You came back?
yeah, I came back around, I want to say, 2014.
What about you, Clean Bean?
For me, I watched it when I was in middle school, so that's like, dang, when was that? 2014-ish? Yeah, around there. I watched 17 episodes and then took a break, came back to it, went to Ennie's Lobby, finished it, took a break again, and then came back to it. Went all the way to, I believe it was up to Fishman Island. No, Dressrosa. It was up to Dressrosa
Okay.
when I went all the way through. So, yeah.
Okay, all right. For me, it's a little different. I started after my Dragon Ball run through. I went through Ball, Z, and GT. And then I ran through, I was like, okay, One Piece. I ran up to, I think it was right before the war, the big war at headquarters. And then I stopped. And then I think I remember coming back. It was when they were at this is right when Hody was starting to get like big. So I think that's what we're going to do today. We're actually going to cut the episode in half, not the episode in half, but like our One Piece plans. We'll cut One Piece in half, cover the first half here, and then we'll do the second half in a later episode. You cool with that?
Bro, it is whatever. It's your show.
You're right. All right, let me ask you, how do you feel about the pacing of One Piece?
The pacing for me isn't a problem, but I know for other people it is. But I'm also looking forward to the One Piece that they're making.
Yeah, the remake.
Maybe, hopefully that'll fix the issues that some people can have with it. How do you feel about it? How do you feel it's too slow, too fast, right in the middle?
Yeah, I feel like, well, for me, it's a little bit different for me, like you said, right? I'm so used to consuming anime in a way that you kind of just go from one episode to the next, where if there's enough drive to move on, like enough cliffhanger to move on, I'll just
Yeah.
watch and binge watch them all, just like how people binge watch Netflix shows and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
But like, let me ask you, Clean Bean, you watched the live action, for example?
Yeah, I did
watched
watch
it,
the
right?
live action.
How did you feel about that one?
So I thought that it was pretty decent to start for like a first season, and like you're doing a popular show. That was a brilliant idea to like do that and gravitate more, you know, anime lovers and even people that don't watch anime started to watch that. And then they got into other animes here and there. I'm giving it an 8.5 because I really personally enjoyed it.
That's a good number.
I do like the actors. Like I do like the actor that does Luffy. He is kind of goofy, like himself. Like his personality is kind of goofy. So I thought they did good.
Okay. How about you, Dynasty? You watched it? No.
I did not, but I had a coworker who did, who wasn't really like an anime guy. And funny enough, he watched the live action and then almost immediately jumped into like other anime that he thought he would enjoy.
Wow. Okay. That's a big jump.
Yeah, it was wild.
I'm really wondering what the turnover is for that. Like, you're watching the One Piece live action and you're like, all right, this looks interesting. I want more. Wait, the content already exists in a different form. Jump over. You know what I mean? Like, the turnover has got to be some pretty big numbers, right? I feel like, now here's the thing. Like, I'm glad they're doing the remake, right? But it's like they're doing that plus they're doing the live action. So they're doing both. And I don't want to divide people, but I guess I understand that there may be people who prefer the live action over animation, so they'll stick with the live action instead of the animation.
Yeah.
So I guess I can see why they're doing it, but to me, it's just like, wow, we have 3 different lines of One Piece going on right now, of like the best-selling manga to ever sell. So it's crazy for me.
Yeah.
That's one way to branch out. I will say that.
Exactly.
Just bringing in a wider audience.
All right. You have any before we start? Do you have any favorite arcs that you want to like just shout out?
Arcs. Enies Lobby. That's basic one.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. I liked I did enjoy Whole Cake, actually.
Oh, really?
I know not a lot of people liked it.
Do you think it's because of like Sanji's turnaround, or?
Yeah, that was my favorite part of that arc was Sanji's like the second half of his backstory.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that, and who didn't love Wano?
Wano's what's up? What about you, Queenie?
My favorite was probably between Marineford and Wano, I would have to say. Marineford, you know.
20 episodes of Luffy running for Ace.
Yep. That was
running.
If I had to pick, a personal favorite for me would be Amazon Lily, and I'll get into that later on why I think I really enjoy it. And then I think I would probably.
But you sit back.
What do you mean you know what?
I told you we'll get to why.
You better get to why, because I know why.
No.
Can this man not have anything down?
That's what I'm trying to understand.
Let him live.
No, let him live. What were you alluding to?
We'll get to it. There's reasons behind this, all right? It's not what you okay, maybe it is kind of what you think, but it's not exactly what you think, all right? We're gonna get to it.
Mm-hmm.
I promise. All right? This is not episode 5. We're not doing a lotion thing today.
Okay, that
All
rubber
right.
stretch though. I will say.
Stop.
That rubber stretch.
Yeah.
We're starting already. Y'all are crazy. So here's
I
what we'll do.
didn't do anything.
Here's what we'll do. All right. We're just going to run through the arcs, you know, the beginning of One Piece and kind of follow along. I have all the arcs listed here so we can actually kind of go through them. Arcs are small, arcs are big. From today up until this point, I think there's like 30-something arcs, like 32 or 33. No clue. But, for example, let's take the Romance Dawn arc, which is literally the first arc where you know, Luffy pops out of the barrel. You got meets Kobe and everything like that. And this is literally the first 3 episodes, right? And there's Zoro getting recruited by the end of that 3rd episode.
Yeah.
Like,
I
how do you feel about that?
I feel like the entire East Blue saga was just
Legendary.
I wouldn't say it was my favorite thing, just because of how it's like not written, but I guess that's
You
the
think it
one.
was slow to start?
Yeah, it was. That's I guess something with the pacing. It is really slow to start the entirety of that saga. So I don't have many thoughts on, say, from Romance Dawn to, I want to say, to like right at the start of Baratier. I don't really have like major feelings about that whole stretch of time.
Yeah, and that's like what, 20 episodes practically, yeah.
Yeah, it's just really slow to start.
Yeah.
I enjoy the character introductions of Zoro and Nami and Usopp, but really that's the only thing I have like thoughts on for that entirety of time.
True. That's really all that happens during that time period. It's like literally getting Zoro, getting Nami right after that with the Orange Town,
Orange
right?
Town with Buggy.
Yeah, with Buggy, and then there was
Syrup Village.
Syrup Village with what's his name? Freaking Spider Claws looking ass.
Korra.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kuro.
Captain Girl, yeah.
That I can't get over that villain, bro. How long were those fucking
Yeah.
like like those nails?
He's just like menacing me.
Menacing. I don't know. Personally, for me, I was like, okay, like I don't really like this villain, but at the same time, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's just goofy in the beginning. There's no really like until you get to the Barate, there's really no like big moment in the show, and just it's there.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
Pop.
It is what it is.
I'll take care of it.
Yeah, we got it. Yeah, just there we go.
But yeah, no, I don't know. What do you think, Clean Bean? How do you feel about the first like I don't know, like intro of One Piece? Like you saw the live action, for example, right? So you know how they kind of condensed that and made it a little bit more, I guess, digestible, right? So how do you feel about that first intro?
I feel like the anime first intro was like it basically introduced us to the characters, you know. It didn't really have the aspect of necessarily peak world building yet until later on within the anime itself. However, I do think there's one big moment that we have to consider though,
Which is
when Mihawk comes.
I did say the beginning of
beginning of
Barate.
Barate.
You
You
did-
did say
you did.
you didn't say the end of
said-
Barate. You
I
said
didn't. I said
Oh, wait, you
right
said the
to when
beginning?
they get to the Barate.
Okay.
After that is when
okay.
things start to
Okay.
really
Something
pick up
Yeah.
in the East Blue
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
and beyond.
All right, I'm fine with that. Then that's literally the basically the start point of where I feel like everything starts to pick up. Like you see his status, how powerful he is, and compared to like characters we just got introduced to, and then we also see just the fact that you have a goal now. Like Zoro had a goal of being the greatest swordsman, literally met that goal, basically got crushed, and then now has more motivation. I feel like that's the turning point of the series that we get to see just how strong people are and different powers.
it's like a wake up call, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a wake up call.
Because it's interesting because that happens right at the beginning. Obviously, there's more than one wake up call that happens within the entirety of the show. It happens multiple times throughout the show where Luffy and everybody else is literally seeing what it's like to go up against all of these big shots, and they want to be like them, but they have to like claw their way up there. They have to train. They got to actually put their name out there. And you see, and actually, I want to ask you guys this too because I think Oda does an excellent job with sort of displaying power levels not in the way that people would expect. For example, you got the bounty system, but you also have the naming system of certain positions, like the ladder, basically, like the admiral, the vice admiral, the captains, the four warlords and stuff like not four warlords,
The seven warlords of
the seven warlords,
and the
four
four-
four Yonko, which is basically four emperors basically.
And the
And then-
supernovas.
And the supernovas and all of that. Like, I think he does an excellent job with trying to display that power within that. So what do you think about how he does that? Do you think it
I really like his system of differentiating between certain groups because you have the worst generation, which is Luffy and them, and well, I guess you could just call them the supernovas because all of them are part of it.
Yeah.
The seven warlords, which they're each very different from each other, but you're under the impression that they're all incredibly powerful, and then the whole ranking system for the Marines is very reminiscent of just real world military.
True.
So
I like it.
you can base each power off of their status in the Marines. So it's nice to have a concise, like, oh, he's the strongest and everyone below him is maybe not weak, but not as powerful.
exactly? And what about you, Clean Bean? What do you think about that?
I mean, I think it definitely creates a lot of variety, especially when we consider like groups going up against each other. Because remember, like when it comes to like four emperors, there's not that many people that can really contest them as much, especially like in terms of power, like raw strength, like you're not gonna have a good one-on-one battle. So you're gonna have to like jump them, like Whitebeard. You're jumping that man. That man literally took on a whole army by himself.
Which we'll get to.
Which we will get to.
That's a whole moment. in
You
itself.
have freaking Shanks, who, well, a lot of people are saying is a fraud, but like, hey,
It's because he's literally been gone.
I'm
like
not-
he does
I'm
not
not
show
getting. I'm
up.
not gonna talk about that.
not gonna talk about that. But then we have, I guess technically would be Kaido, like we talked about in the beginning. Kaido, strong as hell, basically takes like no damage almost all the time, and skin's very thick and has a devil fruit. And then Big Mom, who is honestly, I feel like is the most devious and mentally insane person I've ever seen in my life.
To be fair, she is supposedly bipolar. But hey, however it works, right? But let me ask you this, because this is interesting. When I was watching One Piece, right, and I got introduced, like I'm saying, with the roles, you have the emperors and you also have the admirals. For me, when I was watching it and growing up, I thought that the admirals were in line with the emperors, almost as if the emperor and an admiral were to face off. It would either be equal in power or at least somewhat close in power. Apparently, there's no fucking contest because clearly, as we're seeing throughout the show, bro, the emperors are.
Kaido got
They
little
are.
dog. Like he was literally getting walked. He was getting walked. Like it's like, oh yeah, but let me put a leash on you real quick. Who was he? He thought he was hot. He thought he was hot, and he got clapped. Put aside. Oh, you shoot. You got lava? Yeah. That's my bonfire. Get that out of here.
That's my bonfire. Yo, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just, and how do you maintain a so-called military unit without showing power that I guess is on par with the other side? Because it's supposed to be the Navy and then the pirates. Obviously, you got the Revolutionary Army on the other side, right? Which is a little different. We can talk about that afterwards. But just thinking of it from that perspective, pirates, Navy. Why are the pirates so strong? But to be fair, the one thing that the pirates, I mean, the Navy has advantage of, right, is the Navy is one collective unit, right?
Yeah.
Pirates are just different. They're just scattered. They have their own beliefs and their own, wants and needs and ambitions, right? So when you're comparing those two together, you can see, okay, maybe the Navy is this strong simply because they're united.
Okay, that
All
could
right,
be a
that's-
possibility.
Makes sense.
So, I don't know.
United, probably unified in connections and their overall influence. I mean, like there's influence with pirates as well, but I feel like because of the fact that they are over the whole world and they also have the nobles, like it's kind of hard to contest that when you have no actual government and structure as a pirate because you just do what you want. It's freedom.
Facts.
That's fair.
All right, well,
Valid point.
let's get back to the line. Let's talk about the Baratie arc.
Don't mind.
All right, Dynasty. What do you think about Sanji's introduction? The flowers, the love.
His introduction shows both sides of him. Until he's with women, he is just goofy. He's a simp, really. Just a grade A simp.
Yeah.
But after you see him how serious he takes his cooking,
Yeah.
just immediately attacks the hell's his name?
I forgot the name is. Didn't he have like purple hair or something?
Yeah, I can't remember his
Yeah.
name.
Purple hair.
But second he like insulted his cooking, he was immediately almost he was kicked in the face immediately after.
Bro got clapped.
Wait. Was it purple hair or was it? Wait.
I thought he had somewhat like purple hair, or was
Yeah,
it like
I could
was it
not
like
remember
light
his-
blue or something? I can't remember his name, but it was a different perspective.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to get back to you on that.
full metal. What was it? Full body or something?
I think that's what
Full
it is.
body.
That's what it is.
Guy that he took out the girl and was mistreating her badly, and he thought he was a hot shot because he's a Marine. Had on like the little pins in the
His knuckles.
fists and the knuckles, thinking that he's tough, and he ended up getting clapped.
Bro got the fisticuffs and everything. You end up got
Yep.
destroyed.
You see how serious he takes his cooking, but you also just see that he's just goofy and that he'll feed anyone, but he's also just a simp.
Just a simp.
Just a simp.
I'm sorry.
Don't get me wrong, I love Sanji, He's just a simp.
He's just a sip. I think that's why I respect him in that light simply because of the fact that he is of the essence a person who is very focused on their craft, and they will anybody who disrespects his craft is just like, yeah, sorry, I'm gonna show you what's good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I can respect him. The simp side of him is a little bit like I think that might be a good reason why some people don't like him simply because of the fact that he
It's
just over the top.
It's too much.
It's over the top.
Like, I get respecting women and everything,
Yeah.
but if it's gonna put your life on the line, like it does later, it's
Yeah.
like I can respect it, but like there's got to be a point where it's too much.
For real. And I think Clean Bean, I don't know if you agree with this as well. When he gets to the whole cake arc in and of itself with Sanji, I know we're not gonna talk about it until part 2, but I think that's where a lot of my respect for Sanji comes from. Seeing how he, I guess, maintained his will of cooking, but at the same time, he was trying to do what's best for the crew. Like he was trying to do what was not just best for him, he thought was best for him, what was also best for the crew. It's a complicated situation that we're definitely gonna get into. But yeah, do you agree with that?
No, I definitely agree with it. Like that was a next step for him to take as the position of third most powerful, in my opinion. All right, don't come at me, but third most powerful
In the Straw Hats.
Hat.
Facts.
Not getting into that. We're not talking powers.
Facts.
We're not talking strength wise. We're talking about fucking arcs.
Exactly.
I'm not getting into power scaling.
Yeah,
That's
not
a
getting into power
whole.
scaling.
That's a different thing.
It really is. Before we continue on to the next arc, Zoro gave a speech.
Oh man,
Zoro gave a speech.
that is my favorite moment of the entire saga. Is when he, after Mihawk cuts him across his chest, and he raises his sword and gives his pretty emotional for the time speech to Luffy.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of my favorite parts of the East Blue Saga.
Okay. What about you, Clean Bean? What do you feel about that one?
I mean, for sure, for me, like gave me shockwaves. Like being able to admit defeat here and there. Like when you have the mentality that you are the best at what you do, and you get completely humiliated. Like I personally know how that feels. Like you ever get your ankles broken in basketball, I'd be pissed, believe me. But to like swallow your pride and realize that you still have work to do, and then just salute to your captain, like just like, hey, I'm not losing again. That ain't gonna happen. It definitely shows growth, even though like you're just meeting him. It definitely did show growth in a way.
It's the caliber of the person that you're recruiting, basically. He's your first mate. He is supposed to be the pinnacle of the Straw Hat crew. I mean, obviously he is later down the line, but that sets like the standard for the rest of the show. As everybody gets on the crew, they're each supposed to adhere to the values that he sets.
Exactly.
And I think that just like
They all have.
just sets it.
To be fair, after this, there are a lot of moments like that where the Straw Hats stand and just be like, "This is my captain. This is what I stand for. And I will always stand by him." And I love those moments. They're some of my favorites.
Facts. Next arc after that is the Arlong one. Arlong Park.
Oh boy.
I think that was technically the first time that Luffy ever had like a serious problem with fight. Like
Yeah, at
the
the
first
time.
threat at the time for him, the first major threat were the fishmen. I think
That's also because he was just an idiot the entire fucking time.
also true. I think probably one of my favorite moments would have to be the hat on Nami.
Oh, that's
Mm.
a
That
great moment.
emotional moment, really good moment, and Luffy goes in there. He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna fuck shit up," and it's legendary.
It is an emotional moment. And at that point in the story, that's the second one.
Yep. Second one. Clean Bean.
I will say, this was the first time that I actually like shed a tear.
Oh, really? I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, it was a while ago that you watched it, but like,
Yeah, it was a while ago that I watched it, but it was the first time that I shed a tear watching One Piece. Was like, the backstory of Nami, and then like her, well, not her mother, but like the Marine that took her in. Why is her name not coming to me? But
Bellemere.
had pink, yeah, Bellemere, pink hair with the buzz cut side, and like long hair on ponytail. just seeing the scene where Arlong comes in and she just stands her ground, like just sitting there with arms folded and then just gets shot right through the chest. I'm like, nah. I was like a kid and that was like shocking to me. Like shock factor was like definitely there and I definitely felt chills. So easily one of my favorite arcs because I get to see, well, the Straw Hats like literally step up and fuck up shit. And I also got to see a backstory that was like, chilling.
All right.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
I don't know if I would say Arlong Park is specifically like one of the all-time greats and my favorites for when it comes to arcs. But what I will say is that One Piece has like a really interesting way of bringing out the emotions in people. And to be fair, a lot of shonen do kind of the same thing here and there. But like, it's the characters and setting the characters up to be who they are with their characteristics and their personality, right? And then kind of showing the opposite of that to bring in that emotion that really resonates with me. Like seeing Nami break down and seeing Luffy get serious when he's not a joke, like he's a joker. Like Luffy's Luffy, like he's goofy as hell.
Yeah.
But when he gets serious, it's just like, damn, yeah, y'all better watch out. So we move on from Arlong. Arlong gets clapped obviously with the whole, I think it was Luffy's foot, right?
Gum battle axe.
Gum battle axe. But we move on from that to Logtown, and we get to basically the whole situation where Luffy's he's on the
execution platform,
right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I really thought that Luffy was not gonna die, but I thought that he was gonna not get saved by his dad, but get saved by
the crew.
The crew. You know what I mean? I don't know. How did you feel about that?
At the time of like watching it, it was like, who this dude? Who's this random guy saving Luffy from Smoker? It's
Bro,
like,
with the tats on the face.
it took what? How long did it take before we got a name for him?
I don't even remember. I feel like it was like a couple.
It was
like 50 or 100 episodes or something.
It was a long
time. Yeah, you're like Dragon. Who the hell is Dragon?
It's like,
oh yeah, it was. I think
Garp
it
said
was Garp. It was Garp.
Yeah. It was
in Water 7, it's like,
okay, so that's like 200 episodes later or something, like 100
Yeah.
episodes.
it's
Yeah.
like, who's this
Who is
dude?
this nigga?
Pull up in a cloak, like looking like he's, that guy. I was just so confused. I was like, he has a scar on him, he has a cloak, and he literally made Smoker look like cannon fodder. So
He did.
something's up. Like he's definitely powerful. Why is he not featured as much? I always wondered that.
It's the same thing, which I mean, Shanks is Shanks, but like I feel like both Dragon and Shanks are like the dark horses of the series simply because we have not seen much from them when it comes to their power. I think we've seen more of Shanks' power than Dragon so far.
Yeah, in the last couple.
Like
years we've
chapters
seen-
and
yeah.
episodes, we've seen, Shanks fight, what's his name? Was
Kid?
it Kid? Yeah,
Wasn't
Kid
a
got
fight.
He got practically clapped.
Got a Susanoo.
And I love how like Shanks didn't even fight for the war and for the remember when the admiral came at Wano?
Yeah, he just-
everything was done. He came and just, my bro is not even in Wano, and he's like, here, have some of my energy, my spirit pressure. Basically, he's like, I'm strong. His Haki was so strong that you could feel his Haki, and he's not even in the country. How does that work? How do you make it make
just
sense?
like I just entered, or like I'm just entering, and you already scared me.
Yeah.
Like I have that energy from afar.
Bro, that's like being in the United States and somebody in Mexico started charging up, and you're like, huh? Like, nigga, what?
You crossed the border?
Like, what's going on? Somebody in Canada is starting to hit the field. You're like, wait, but Canada doesn't use weapons. Like, what do you mean? Like,
Huh? Canada
honestly,
crossed the border too? Like, what?
crazy. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's interesting the whole like the way they set up Dragon. I'm hoping that they give some more information with that.
I hope so too.
Like it's along the lines of, obviously we get a lot of Zoro, but we were just talking about this, me, you, and Clean Bean, how Zoro's backstory, we need more. We
haven't had anything.
we haven't had anything
We have
besides the
Kuina.
Yeah.
That's it.
and we need more. And I
Oh.
think it's just not enough. And I think he's the only one we're currently missing backstory for within the entirety of the crew. I could be wrong, but in terms of just like,
no, we have Jinbei's.
yeah, we have
With
Jinbei's.
Fisher Tiger. Yeah,
Yep.
he's
I
the
think he's
only
the
one we have
only
like a
one.
solid backstory for.
Exactly. So maybe we'll get there. I don't know.
Hopefully.
I think the next arc after Arlong was after the Logtown was Reverse Mountain.
Reverse Mountain, and I guess technically Whiskey Peak, if you want to count that
and
too.
Whiskey Peak. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I count Whiskey Peak. I count Whiskey Peak.
Yeah, Whiskey Peak counts.
I count Whiskey Peak. Come on, that's the time that
You're getting a little aggressive about it, homie. You got something to say about it?
Wait, hold on now. I just thought it was hilarious that whole time.
Were you talking about that situation when Zoro took down all those
Yeah, and then that's the
Going through the curlers.
That's his start of Minority Hunter Zoro. Minority when he go and grab her face, the I forgot who was she working for. That big giant brolic woman that had pink hair.
What was it, Miss Monday?
I think it might have been.
It might have been Miss Monday.
I have no clue, but whoever it was got dogged.
Perhaps her face. He's just like, yeah. You listen here, you little. I don't know. But like, regardless, he had some intentions clearly, and from then on, he was exterminated. All races.
All races got exterminated.
Minority Hunters.
No. He didn't exterminate racism. He started in the one.
Oh,
he
yeah.
started in on his racism.
He started it.
Because next, who's his next big opponent? Mr. One.
Mr. One. Yo, that's. Wait a minute.
And he had a clean cut too.
That makes so much sense now.
He's trying to be like the world nobles. I don't know what you're talking about.
Discrimination at its finest.
It's just not with the fishmen. It's just with melanin.
Honestly, you got
That's
a point.
a good one.
You got a point.
It's just not fishmen. It's not fishmen because he has no issues with Jinbei. It's just melanin.
Yo.
What's wrong with melanin, Zoro?
Listen, Zoro.
We couldn't tell you.
Come on now, man. You under the sun. Catch some rays. Get darker.
I think after that arc I got here Little Garden arc. Remember when the Dory and Bragi?
The Giants.
Oh,
The Giants? That fight was funny.
that was funny.
It's great because you're not there yet because you watch the anime, right? But you don't read the manga. But
Oh
they
my
pull up
god,
again.
that's so good to see them again too.
I mean, you already know about this. I'm not trying to spoil anything, but you already know that they're going to Elbaf, right?
Nice.
So yeah, so you already know. So obviously, it would
excited.
make sense for them to at least show up. So that's important. But I thought that the fight that they had, the fact that they were like endlessly fighting for, I forgot how many years it was that they were there, just like in a stalemate.
100.
It was like 100, right? Yeah. I was like, wow, spending 100 years fighting, and then somebody, Luffy,
This rubber idiot.
this rubber idiot, he ends up breaking the tie. He ends up saying, hey, listen, no, no, stop. And he stops it. I mean, to be fair, there's other factors that happen there. But I just find it really funny how Luffy pulls up and he's like the defining factor for a lot of different things that happen, which is primarily why I think the Amazon Lily arc is my personal favorite. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. After that, we go on to Drum Island.
Drum Island.
Chopper.
Wait.
No, keep in mind, I'm excluding all the fillers.
Oh, okay.
We don't talk about filler here.
Yeah, we don't talk about fillers. Like I know
Unless it's a
you're
complaint.
thinking about fillers that were in between, but I dropped a few of them because I didn't think they were important.
Okay. All right. Good. Gotcha.
And I think it's actually after Drum Island that the filler. No, it's not there. But I made sure to like exclude it from this list because I was like, if it's not in the manga, what's the point of talking about it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there was one about like some girl with the. Darn, I forgot.
The girl with the dragon.
Yeah, the girl with the dragon.
They were still in the East Blue right before Reverse Mountain.
Yeah. But yeah, Drum Island. Doctor
Tony Chop.
Tony Chopper, and what was her name? The Correa. Yeah.
Korea.
If I remember correctly, aren't they going to be touching upon this within the live actions next season?
Yeah.
I believe they gave like a list of the arcs that we were going to cover, and I think they're not going to cover the Alabasta arc. They're going to stop right before it.
Yeah, I think the live action is going to be stopping at Drum.
Which kind of makes sense because of the fact that the content in Alabasta is just so deep.
There's so much happening in Alabasta.
But before we get to the Alabasta arc, Drum Island arc, the Chopper, I really thought he was I didn't think he was a raccoon. I thought he was like what are those things called?
Tanuki?
Yeah, that's what I thought he was at first.
You mean what they call the raccoon dog?
yeah, basically.
They called
When they
what
call
they
him
called
that, yeah.
him?
I really thought he was that. I'm not gonna lie to you, like
Yeah.
just simply because of how Japan displays those things. But like, I was like,
He's just a little guy.
just a little. Okay,
He's just a little guy.
all right. It's a reindeer.
You leave my little buddy alone.
I mean, you're wearing that.
You leave my little buddy
Bro,
alone.
he can literally ride with Santa. Everything will be fine.
That's how they left the island.
I know.
They left it in a sleigh.
I know. What was his name? The villain for that? Wapple?
Waffle.
Wapple. The man,
The big
Crimson
jawed ass
Big
motherfucker.
jawed, metal jaw ass motherfucker.
Chin had ass. Like, no.
He vored his teammates. I'm not wrong.
You're not
wrong.
You're not wrong.
Technically, You're not
They
wrong.
really got eaten. That's crazy. I was so happy when he got roasted and actually destroyed. Wait, are we referring to the vor?
I'm not talking
okay,
any
okay.
more
I'm
about
not
the floor.
talking any more about that. man.
I don't know. I was making jokes. Do you really want to talk about the vor?
No, that is a topic for a different day.
No.
Actually, I don't even know if we can touch that topic. But I forgot how Wapple got defeated. I know they were up on top of that mountain, right? This was
With his former cat. I think Luffy just punches him off the mountain.
I think that's what happened. Yeah, yeah, something like
I
that.
think he just gets yeeted off the mountain.
Wapple really got destroyed. But yeah, and then you get Chopper. Tony Chopper's on the team. So at that point, we have 5, right? We're at Luffy, Zoro,
Nami, Usopp,
and
Sanji.
Sanji. No, 6. We're at 6.
Yeah, and then and Chopper
Chopper. So for 6. And I think that was it
That was
up until
for a long
while.
time
up until we get to Water 7. And
until Robin officially joins the crew.
You technically have Vivi
Right.
though
Or
also
Vivi.
on the ship. Not
Oh,
not
yeah,
as
even though
a-
she doesn't count. I honestly
yeah,
thought
she
Vivi.
doesn't count.
I actually, since we're gonna move on to the Alabasta arc now, I actually thought Vivi was gonna be a part of the crew.
I disagree. I didn't think she would
Why do you
join.
think? Was it just because?
Because of the scene in the tower before the bomb goes off, and when she's screaming at her citizens to stop,
Oh.
and they all stopped. She cared far too much about her country and
Yeah.
people to ever leave it.
Yeah, that's fair. I know she wanted to leave though.
Yes, she
wanted to go.
she was indecisive about leaving, but I guess the love for her country outweighed the love she had for traveling.
Yeah, I honestly wish that she was a part of the crew, but obviously she plays a deeper role later down the line that we don't have to get into now. But
God,
yeah, thank God.
the reverie.
Yeah, the reverie. Yeah, honestly, that pissed me off because of fucking Hoshi getting the. There's a lot of stuff that happens anyway. We're gonna get to that, but Clean Bean, the main villain for Alabasta arc.
Oh. Crocodile, huh? Crocodile. Listen. Isn't that supposed to be like Luffy's mom, right?
Stop. We're not theory crafters.
We're not theory crafters. No, he not Luffy's mom, but definitely a cool villain. I will definitely say, like, the first time you technically saw, well, no, maybe not the first time, but one of the first few times that you see Luffy get pooped on in a way, like, he literally.
It's okay, you can swear.
He does take an L.
Yeah, he takes it out. Like, he got down. He definitely got down. Like, I do think, however, if he didn't have water, it would have been, he would have lost.
And that's why we were just having this conversation actually because somebody commented on this in one of the videos. He was like, what do you think, which universe is better in power level, My Hero or One Piece? And personally, I picked One Piece because of the fact that Haki is included in it. Haki is, I guess, I don't want to say it's like a scapegoat or anything, but Haki is what defines a lot of power that we see in One Piece, not just the devil fruits.
I think Kaido says it best. Haki is what will allow you to rule the sea. Not a devil fruit, not your intelligence. It's Haki will rule all.
Okay, so like out of like all the different ways you can become powerful in One Piece, you believe that Haki is the for sure.
Yeah,
because
for
look
me,
at Garp.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Garp. It's just like, bro has no devil fruit, and he was cooking niggas. Like,
so loud.
Sorry, I just had to say it like that because Garp is just fucking Garp. It's crazy how he's still kicking. I mean, to be fair, there's also Rayleigh and et cetera, et cetera. But like, just thinking from that perspective, right? I think that's why I think that the One Piece universe has some flavor to it when it comes to the power system, even though the power system is kind of like wild. But it's nothing compared to Dragon Ball Z. But what I'm trying to say is like the fact that Haki is there kind of gives another avenue that allows people who don't necessarily have those devil fruits and maybe not innate talent to come out on top, like Garp and like Kobe, and that we see in the future, et cetera, et cetera. So if Luffy did have Haki at that point, which obviously he didn't have it, but if he did, he wouldn't need water to face Crocodile. He would just use his Haki because he'd be able to hit him because he's a Logia type, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like there's so many, like Haki's definitely the overall, the counter to everything else. But even like if we're doing devil fruit versus devil fruit, there's a lot of things you have to take into consideration. Is it awakened? Is it not awakened? The element of it. How can you alter it? The different moves. Like, is there a way to neutralize your opponent? Like stuff like that is definitely could be considered. And sometimes you just have to like really use your head as a human as to how can I actually make your devil fruit like useless.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's a fair point.
That's fair. I mean, we're gonna be talking about. Well, actually, we can talk about that right now because literally the Sky P arc is right after Alabasta. So, and it's a pretty deep arc. I mean, we already know what happens. It's freaking Enel and everything. But before we even start in Skypiea, we have Jaya, right? So, remind me again when they got to Jaya. I forgot what that guy's name was.
Bellamy.
It was Bellamy. That piece of shit.
Bellamy. My favorite thing is that when you meet him, all he does is talk, and almost immediately karma hits him in the form of Luffy's fist just imprinted on his face.
You ever get an imprint on your face, you gotta retire. Like you gotta get surgery. Something gotta happen.
Best part about Bellamy is it happens not once but twice.
Literally twice. I think that's the crazy part. Yeah, fucking Dressrosa and everything. But
And then we get to finally in Jai we meet Blackbeard.
yeah, oh yeah, that is when we meet Blackbeard. And honestly, I did not think by that point when I was watching the anime, I did not think he was gonna be that much of a threat. I looked at him.
Currently the biggest.
He is
threat.
currently the biggest threat to ever walk the face of the One Piece Earth. But like just thinking of it from that perspective, when I was back then, I was like, he's probably maybe one day we'll see him later down the line, be a pirate or something, or maybe he'll be somebody important that might help Luffy in the long run or something like that. No, this dude is literally the villain.
Only ever there to cause problems.
Only ever there to cause problems. So I will say, very good on Oda for doing that introduction in a way that made it seem as if it was foreshadowing, but at the same time not. You know what I mean? I didn't think that was Luffy's biggest threat. I thought Luffy's biggest threat was going to be the Navy and the Emperors.
That is true.
So, let me see. Jaya, Sky Island,
Skypiea.
Yeah,
The Skypiea arc.
Skypiea.
They meet
Skypiea.
Nolan's
Nolan.
Nolan, yes.
They meet his
Cricket.
Cricket. They meet Cricket and they figure out the way to get back up to get to Skypiea by using the
Knockup stream.
knockup stream.
I have a lot of random knowledge.
I know. It's like so
It's
hard.
okay, you have them all. It's sometimes hard to pinpoint as you
Yeah.
watch so many episodes. It's like, damn, what was it called again? But yeah. Knockup stream, they get there, they're in the clouds. I'm trying to remember, didn't they see when they were up there, they saw the people basically using those like motorized like jet ski things?
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
And they were like, what is this? What is this place? This is so cool.
the dials and everything.
The dials, yeah.
The freaking dials. The impact
The
dial.
impact dial.
The one that shoots up farts. Like I was that was
Honestly, the
hilarious.
whole
Such a
entire arc, I
strange
thought it was
thing.
like, it was so strange, but at the same time, I was like, wow, there's just a lot that's happening here in terms of like power related to dials. You know what I mean? Like just able to, because the impact dial, the way it was you would hit it, right? And it would absorb the impact and basically use that
Yeah,
to,
it can repel it back. I think I don't know if it's as hard or twice as hard.
something like that,
Something
right?
like that.
Yeah. And I thought that was like, that's kind of cheap, but at the same time, kind of cool. Like just thinking about it, I was like, pretty cool idea. And then the whole Enel.
NL.
And no, my man Eminem.
I was about to say the same thing. The Eminem of the One Piece world. Earlobes and all.
Earlobes. earlobes and all.
It had the silky on too.
He does have a
He
silky
really
on.
is the Eminem. That is crazy.
Come on now. You can't say he wasn't dripped out too, because he had some drip.
Drip. You know what?
What you mean?
I'm not sorry.
I mean, to be fair, his earlobes was what would kind of take away from that drip. But hey, still,
He's shirtless with pants on. Call that drip, homie?
I mean,
it was probably the.
It's
Was
just
he wearing?
it's just because he's arrogant.
Was he wearing a necklace?
yeah, true.
Was he
it's-
wearing gold?
It's his aura.
Okay, sorry,
It's
my
his
bad.
aura.
Aura.
He has drip aura.
Except he has a bunch of aura until he finds out he can't affect Luffy.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Actually, do you think? Let me ask you this, Dynasty. Do you think that Luffy would have won if he wasn't made out of rubber?
No, I don't.
He would have lost.
Yes.
I think, and he's actually overpowered. I think he's insanely overpowered.
And that would have, because he was shown with his crew. He fried Sanji. And at that point, Sanji, well, not so terribly weaker, is still not. It's still pretty powerful.
Still pretty powerful. Yeah.
Oh, he fried Robin as well.
He fries Robin.
Robin definitely got fried.
If he had no Haki at the time, and without his rubber,
Yeah, he would have
Getting-
lost.
getting killed.
He would have lost. So, damn, it's interesting. All these fights that I see, Luffy, if certain variables weren't, the way they're supposed to be, in an all-out fight,
It would just
you
die.
You would just die. So, it's interesting. It's like Luffy, at the same time, he's lucky, but he still is like. It's not as if how we were having that hard work versus talent debate.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't really say he is nothing but talent. I'd say he has luck on his side, and he also has that hard work.
I can see that in a way, yeah.
No,
What would you think about that,
he-
Dynasty?
I mean, I wouldn't say he's like doesn't work hard, but you only really see him working hard with the Rayleigh.
That's true. That's really the point where he does.
He really doesn't like grow in strength until Rayleigh.
Yeah, until that 2-year gap, the training.
Because with gear 2 and 3, it's really just using his devil fruit in different ways.
True.
He doesn't physically change or get any stronger until he's training with Rayleigh.
Do you think that the devil fruit sort of modifications that he has develops through his experience with fighting? So would that be considered hard work, or is that still technically talent?
I would say a bit of both. He has to figure out
Mhm.
he can do this. So it's iffy on that. But I do know his experiences are affecting how he's using his devil fruit.
Correct me if actually no. Just remind me this because I forgot what Enno was planning to do with that. Wasn't he on like a ship or something?
He wanted to go to the moon.
He wanted to go to the moon. Yeah.
He's still got his goal as well. He went to the moon.
But I feel like there's some significance to that. I don't know why. Like,
Oh, you think it's related to the full-on story?
No,
in some
'cause-
type of way.
why would you keep the character like he was like still floating on that ship, right?
He's on the moon right now.
He's supposed to be on the moon. So what is he going to find there?
He found little robots.
Well, wait a minute.
He had his own cover story. He found little robots.
No, I'm saying like
Are you trying to say that there's going to be some sort of, or you think there should be some sort of significance within the whole entirety of the universe within One Piece? Like you think that whatever he finds there might actually have some relation to, like for example, the poneglyphs are very important, right?
yes.
So would you say that there's something on the moon that would help them find the One Piece? Is that what you're trying to say?
I feel like yes, there's maybe something that he I don't know, maybe disregarded or I thought was like not important that may be on there. I had no idea. But like I don't know, there's got to be some kind of correlation there. I don't know. I feel like he's too big of a character.
All I know is NL went to the moon. He found little robots, and I think a space pirate.
Space pirate.
Space
Enno.
pirate.
He's a space pirate now.
No.
Okay. All right, we're moving on from
Oh, boy.
Skypea, and we're moving on to
The
there's
big one.
basically the there was the long ring, long land arc that happened right
Oh.
before Water Seven.
Oh, the
Water
Foxy
Seven?
pirates.
Yeah, with the Foxy Pirates. Yeah, and then
It talked to me about
And-
Foxy.
Davy back. Yeah,
The Dibby back fight.
yeah.
the afro.
Yeah,
the
with
Luffy with the afro.
that I did find that kind of funny. I ain't gonna lie.
I hated everything about Foxy.
I honestly thought it was a filler,
I did too.
but it's surprisingly not. So
Wow.
Well, some of it's not.
some of it's not.
It was only supposed to be like 3 events, and then Aokiji shows up. But like, They made it way too long. God, I hated Foxy.
Yeah, it was pretty long. I'm not gonna lie. Aoki's we'll talk about that. We'll talk about Water 7 first, and we'll get to the Admiral soon.
That's
Water
a
7.
hefty one.
Yeah, Water 7.
Wait,
We are
wait.
here. What?
We can't go to War 7.
Why?
Aokichi meeting them.
Yeah, doesn't that happen? Yeah.
That happens before they get to
Before
Water 7.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I guess
Well,
we're talking
you
about
want to talk about
separate.
it? You want to talk about it? We can talk about it. Talk about it.
All right, sure. How about
See your
I'll talk
piece.
about it? Like
Well,
your first meeting, like an admiral, like
An
you're
admiral.
trying to understand like how powerful they are, and I feel like he kind of humbled them in a way, like letting them know, like, listen, if I wanted to, I would fry all of you, but I'm not gonna do that. I just need Nico Rob, but instead, I'm gonna just freeze her, make y'all thaw her out in a tub, and be on my way and help these villagers. Like, let me just freeze the ocean, like it's nothing. He just basically did a nonchalant drive-by.
A nonchalant drive-by is crazy.
And he was just like, huh? Okay. All right. I'm awake now. Let me just go back to where I was going. I forgot what he was doing there in the first place.
I forgot. How did he travel again?
My
on a bike.
On a bike. Yeah, that's what it was. That was what was. I was like,
He
what the
traveled the seas.
hell?
on a bike
that
using
freezes the water.
Yeah, he's freezing the water as he's riding the bike.
That is crazy. Imagine you could do that in real life, bro. Just get on a bike and just fucking. That would be just crazy. But yeah, now we can move on to Water 7. Might as well.
Oh boy, the big one.
This is the big one.
So much happens in this
This
arc
is
as
Where
well.
so much happens here because you go from Water 7 and this leads to Ennie's lobby. So a lot happens, but
Yeah.
when they start, it starts with is it the train? I think?
Yeah, seeing the
The
sea train.
Yeah. One Piece is wild for this. Like I love One Piece for the fact that there's just so much out of pocket stuff that happens. You're like a train
On the
on
sea.
water? What am I gonna see next? Like,
Why is there a frog?
why is there a
Big
frog
frog
as a
standing in front
conductor?
of it. No. He was,
Oh wait, he was trying to stop it.
He was trying to stop it.
Yeah,
You
he was
remember?
trying to stop
'Cause
it.
that was the frog that was with Tom.
Yeah, Tom's frog. Wasn't he got every single time the train hit him, he just got knocked off and he would get back on the tracks.
Yes,
he
trying
back on the train because of the fact
stubborn
that
ass frog.
Stupid ass frog. That's what I'm saying. Like just wild shit that One Piece be having happen. I'm like, what is going on? It was the same thing
That's
with
fever dream.
like bring it back just for a second. Like I'm like Laboon, why are you so? I mean, to be fair, whales are big as hell, but I'm like Laboon, why is your head out of the water like that? You're over here like, eyes extra huge. It's like, damn, this place is crazy.
Paradise, fucking the Grand Line is just weird.
Grand Line is weird as hell, bro. But yeah, I guess the key moments that happen in Water 7 are very interesting because we do touch upon the situation with Usopp.
Ah,
Remember
when they're fighting,
when he's fighting Luffy?
yeah, the sea. He's like, hey, we're not getting rid of the Mary.
Clean Bean, we actually did talk about this during the that episode that we did for growth. No,
was it growth or glow up?
glow up, because Usopp does essentially have a glow up throughout the entirety of the show, even though he's still like a scaredy cat, but he still has that glow up. This was peak point, one of those points. So you remember what you said? I forgot what you said about that.
I was saying that it was important for him to have this moment because his ideals, I remember like he was like, very straightforward, stuck to them, and was trying to stick with his shit. Like that's very sentimental to him. But he needed this to grow because of the fact that for one, if you're gonna be a part of this crew, you have to understand that everyone's safety and like that comes first. One. Two, you gotta get stronger. Straight up, you have to get stronger. Like
Facts.
there's no okay, I have all strong people around me. I'm just gonna focus on being ship maintenance. Now what? You have a shipwright on your squad. So you have no excuse. Excuse my language, but you gotta step up to the plate, Usopp. I feel like this was the time for him. This is like the turning point where he's like, okay, I'm actually fully committed to becoming a better member, to supporting my captain's decisions, and to basically do what's right for the crew, rather than just solely thinking of myself.
Right. What about you, Dynasty? How do you feel about that moment?
The moment where It makes sense why Usopp did what he did because of everything going on because I got it from Kaya
Yeah.
and he didn't want to like give it up. But I also get Luffy's perspective. He's the captain. He has to make sure his crew can continue their journey safe and on a proper vessel.
Exactly.
So
His decision made sense.
his decision made sense, but I also understand Usopp's sentimental reason to want to keep the Mary around.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
Didn't they actually use parts of the Mary for the
figurehead.
figurehead, right?
Yes.
No, for the new ship?
Yeah.
They did, right? Yeah.
I think it was like I forgot what they used.
I forgot what it was, but it was like some special wood.
Yeah.
Adam wood.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
And then you had the mini Mary, I remember.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
mini
the
Mary
mini
is what
Mary.
it was.
And I was like, yeah, see, Usopp, it's there. The memory of the ship is within the new ship. And I do like the fact that they had the send off, and then the
No.
No.
We don't talk about Mary.
I'm not crying
it
again.
was
I
kind of sad.
refuse.
I'm not gonna lie. To you.
There's two really emotional scenes in this whole arc. It's when Robin finally admits that she wants to go
And
to the
she
Straw
cries.
Hats and she screams,
Yep,
I want to live.
that was emotional for me. And then there's that one.
I will freely admit to just sobbing when they sent Mary off. Another thing about Mary I will admit to crying over is a couple there's like one of the covers for one of the manga chapters was just two little fish bringing Luffy's new bounty posted to her, and
Yeah.
I cried when I saw that.
So
I was
sad.
like, that's awful.
I know we were just talking about Enies Lobby, but before we actually jump into Enies Lobby, you remember that scene when I believe it was Usopp got beat up
By Frankie,
by Frankie and like the entire
his goons
goons and he, bro, the squad
rolled up on him.
rolled up and they were just like, the entire practical base like was destroyed. Everybody was beat up.
Yeah.
That scene, I love that scene so much. That's like one of my top scenes, honestly. Anything that has like a scene where they're like avenging or doing anything of that sort, I'm like, yeah, I'm on top of that. Just too good, too good. Okay. But Enies Lobby, Robin got stolen.
Robin's plea.
Robin's plea. You said it yourself. Probably one of the most, if not the best, emotional moment of One Piece. Just seeing what we've seen so far, at least. Besides Kuma, but
There's one other scene I want to highlight.
Which one?
Is when they're all on the roof going right before Robin's scene where Luffy tells Usopp to shoot the flag.
oh yeah,
Because it's not just Usopp, because you have to remember almost every other order Luffy has given, except in a serious situation, there's like a bit of hesitation with everybody else, or like, oh, you're stupid, or what are you doing? Not a single person even twitched about that order. He could have given that order to anybody else, and it still would have been followed.
Yeah, that's deep.
I just like that it shows their loyalty to both Luffy and each other.
Mm-hmm.
No one questioned him when he said, shoot that flag down. And I like to think that if he had given the order to anybody else there, they all would have shot down the flag.
Facts. Yeah, Clean Bean. What do you think about that?
No, definitely like a chilling moment. Like you're declaring basically war against the world government, who is influential across the entire, sea, like all four seas and the Grand Line. But I do think I did want that scene to like kind of be fleshed out a little bit more. But other than that, I think it was like just perfect. Like just everything from like even from a serious moment to just Luffy just stretching out his arms and taking them all with him.
Yeah.
That was
Jumping
hilarious.
right over after
Yeah, jumping
Robin's
over.
plea.
It's funny because like that was for me, I think, one of the big turning points to say, hey, like I know you said declaring war against the world government, but it was one of the more serious moments of we're against the Navy and this is a fact. Like this is us against the Navy. What were they afraid of? They were afraid of a buster call coming, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
They didn't give a fuck at that point. Buster call? Who the fuck? I don't give a fuck about the bus. I'm getting Robin back. Like that shit was serious. So good, so good.
We are pirates. We are against you as an institution. Period. End of discussion. We are your enemy.
Facts. So Luffy does get gear second at that point. He's
Yeah.
fighting what's his
Bruno.
name? Bruno with the
Yeah.
horns, right?
Yeah,
The
Bruno.
horn, CP9, freaking agents wannabe from Matrix. Literally.
Yeah, you did say that. The I remember you saying that like last week that CP is basically from the Matrix.
Yeah, you're basically from the Matrix.
Cypherpole. They're just
You
Matrix.
said you called Cypherpool wannabe
Yeah,
the agents.
Wannabe agents.
Oh boy.
wannabe.
But I mean I could see that, but it's
Oh, but
interesting.
Lucci is a wannabe. Lucci
Oh.
is awesome.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Lucci's
that's true.
Lucci. He
Love
honestly he got the drip. I ain't gonna lie to you, he got the drip.
You got the good.
The battle between actually wait, who did Zoro fight again?
Lucci.
Was
Kaku.
it Kaku? Okay.
Kaku.
So it was Kaku. And then Luffy fights Luffy, obviously. And that fight gets crazy. I think Luffy does use his gear third at that point.
Yes.
So I think that was probably the biggest development we've seen in Luffy's abilities and powers, where to the point where it's like
2 and 3. Yeah.
2 and 3 literally come back to back, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You see both of them for the first time in this arc.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you don't see gear fourth until later on, practically in Dressrosa. So it's a while before you see another evolution of his abilities.
Yeah.
yeah.
The next big thing is learning Haki.
Yeah.
The next big shift for him and his like power is him learning Haki.
Oh, Chopper. Monster
Oh,
Point.
Monster Point.
Oh yeah,
Monster
Monster
Point.
Point. Yeah,
Rampaging after
was
he
good.
fought his opponent.
that was good. Chopper stepped up. He really stepped up at that point.
Yes, sir, he did. Like he was like, listen, I'm not letting that bounty like reflect my actions. I'm about these hands.
Yeah, facts.
Oh, the 50 berry
berry.
belly.
Yeah.
Berry.
Oh, poor Chopper.
I'd be upset too.
Chopper can't.
Damn.
I
Yo.
don't think they call. I think they label him a pet as well.
Yeah. I'm pet.
As soon as I think they label him a pet right after.
Yeah.
No.
But that's the thing. That's what I love. All right, so I love this specific point in One Piece, especially. Well, you see it after the Arlong arc, right, where his bounties increase. I believe it's
Yeah.
the Arlong arc, and then you see it again after he basically declares war on the world government. His bounty jumps up to 300 million. Probably one of my favorite like parts within the show, like that moment, and then when you see later on he gets the bounty of $1 billion, you're like, throws that out, Billy. It's my favorite moment because it's showing you how much of a threat the government sees you. You're a threat, you're a problem, and you're continuing to become a threat and a problem. But it also kind of like, in a way, shows the scale of power, because you're like, oh, if this person has a bounty of like 5 billion, clearly it's a problem. To be fair, there weren't that many people that were even that high. I think the only person who was that high wasn't it like Gold Roger or
I
something?
think Roger's bounty was 5 billion.
5 billion, yeah,
I think Whitebeard too. Maybe.
maybe, yeah.
I-
What were you saying, Clean Bean?
I was gonna say like I don't necessarily think it's like a power scaling.
It's not.
Like,
It's more notoriety.
more
It's
more
more- yeah.
notoriety. But like
It's the fact that the fear came from the bounty.
yeah, the
Personally, for
fear
me.
itself came from the bounty.
Yeah.
Like you can like gain bounty by multiple different ways. Like Luffy, you're basically just, hey, let me just go to some random country and then liberate its people that's struggling.
Be a
And that's
domestic
about it.
terrorist.
Be a domestic terrorist, literally.
Look, he's the main character, but in the world of One Piece, he's a pirate and a terrorist.
Literally
Yeah.
facts.
To us, he's the hero. To the world,
He's the enemy.
he is literally overturning loyal countries to the world government. He's a domestic terrorist. It's hilarious.
I just
I
find
love
it
that
funny.
dichotomy.
I find it really funny because you just mentioned it too, like just the fact that he's able to do that, but they see him as an enemy, but the people who actually get to know him are like, yeah, you're not an enemy.
This is just my rubber little friend.
Yeah.
But the world government and anyone who hasn't met the Straw Hats are like, these are terrorists.
It's not
They have overthrown kings.
Well, I love the turnovers that some of them have, where it's like Smoker's like, okay, all right, Straw Hat, I see you. With it was after the Alabasta arc,
Yeah.
but like, yeah, it's just something like that. Like, it kind of leads to a connection that we have as people who are watching the show, being on that other side and getting
Yeah.
that perspective. You know
What
I mean?
we see and what the world sees are very different.
Yeah, that's true.
Post Ennie's Lobby, I think that was basically that was the
Don't make me think about
the
it.
bounties and everything. But then we move on to the rest of the crew gets bounties. I think Zoro actually got up to like 120 or 180. I forgot what the number
I
was.
think it was 120.
120, and then Sanji had like 80,
Maybe around there.
around there, something like that. But we move on to the Thriller Bark.
Nothing happened there. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, nothing happened in Thriller Bark. You're right. Morio's trash. Let's move on.
Nothing.
so we move on
I have
to
no idea what you're
we
talking
move on
about.
to Sabaody Archipelago, which is
That's a good.
really really good.
I really like going to Sabaody.
I think my favorite scene throughout the entirety of Sabaody, besides the fact that basically the entire bad generation gets together. What do they call them? The worst generation?
Worst generation or the supernovas.
Or the supernovas. Seeing them all come together and like getting an idea that the world is not as small as what we've seen so far is what really set the tone for me personally, because keep in mind, this is like episode freaking 380 when we're finally starting to see that there are a lot of pirates out here who are just like Luffy and they're trying to get the One Piece, and it just set the tone. Were there any specific scenes? Because I have a favorite, but I want to know from you and from Clean Bean any specific scenes.
I have less of a scene and more like a little fact is when we see all of the supernovas getting together on the island and we see their bounties.
Yeah.
When we see what's going on in the world and we see that Kid has a higher bounty. Because that's Luffy's at the time was the highest we had seen.
Yeah.
And then here comes this random magnetic dude who has a 350 million berry bounty.
Which is crazy.
But then my favorite moment is either when Rayleigh shows up or when he offers to tell Luffy what the One Piece is and Luffy turns him down.
That's a good
Or no, when Luffy tells Usopp to stop asking, he doesn't want to know.
Yeah, that's a good moment right there.
What about you, homie?
I would say really. Like that whole entrance when he comes in swooping in, kicks Kizaru's leg up.
Cold.
Filthy. Like don't get me wrong, like even when they went to what was it, the auction?
Yeah.
That's my favorite moment.
That was cool. Yeah.
I love that moment so much when Luffy had the gall
The
to punch the celestial dragon in the face. That's got to be the coldest. Bro, this
took him back to the manga with that art style.
Yeah, I
too.
was like, and the music with it too, the soundtrack. Luffy was, and everybody knew he was gonna do. They're like, yo, is he then really about to punch a celestial dragon? Does he know what he's doing? Did not give a fuck. Bro said, bam, and the punch was so loud. It sent this man flying. There was, bro.
You are the most animated I've ever seen you.
There was a recoil on that shit, bro.
The man got absolutely squished. Like he literally looked like he got shrunk in size, like turned into freaking Olimar. Like that's how bad it was. It's bad.
It was so bad. I was like, wow, Luffy is something. And you know it's bad when even everybody, I know the worst generation, they were in that auction. They were there watching it. They were like, Luffy, don't you dare. Luffy, don't do it. don't do it, Luffy. And what did he do?
That's not even the first time someone was like, yo,
Don't do it.
one of the Straw Hats was like, I'm gonna f up a celestial dragon.
Yeah.
Because Zoro was gonna kill one in the street.
Yeah. Straw Hats, bro.
Yeah, everyone just kind of, everyone looked at both Luffy and Zoro and was like, oh, don't do it. Oh my God, please don't do it.
And then they sent the admirals, they
Kizaru.
sent Kizaru down, and that was a pretty deep moment because it like it kind of set the tone, like you said before, like when Aoki showed up and with the ice and everything.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, so you're not there yet. You're not on the admiral's level.
No.
I'm sorry, I wish you were, but you're not. And we got to see it firsthand. And then,
They were
with
not ready.
Kuma there and everything.
That's a heartbreaking scene when you see just Luffy sobbing on the floor after he couldn't save his crew.
Yeah, the crew got sent.
Heartbreaking.
And then you find out later on that they
were just separated.
Just separated and everything. So,
And we get to your favorite, Amazon Lily.
oh yeah, then we get to my favorite, Amazon Lily.
I gotta hear.
Explain.
I gotta hear your
You have to
horny
hear this
thoughts because there's gonna be horny thoughts. I know it is.
Okay, so there are some horny thoughts there, but that's not the reason why I really like Amazon Lily. Here's the reason why, and this is tied to what we were talking about before, where Luffy, wherever he goes, he basically changes things.
Okay.
He always makes a change. Amazon Lily is a place of what? Place of nothing but woman, right? And he's a man, and he's there. And obviously it's taboo for them. And to be fair, they treat him as if he is taboo. But not only that, he becomes an exception later on. Why? You know, there's a few little things here that happen, but lo and behold, he overcomes those discriminative values that are there within that country.
Words coming from you, homie.
What do you mean? that's what he does. Like, and a lot of what happens in Amazon Lily ties to what Luffy does as a person. Like I said, like he literally just pulls up and he changes things for the better. Now, to be fair, Amazon Lily still doesn't accept men, obviously. But remember, later on down the line, the crew does come. There are people there that do come to visit. Obviously, they're not there to be there. But like, they're a little bit more open now because because of Luffy. It's Luffy. This is all Luffy here. Now, there are some key moments in Amazon Lily that I really, really like. First of all, you remember that one moment where Luffy falls into the bath and Hancock is there?
Yes.
First and foremost, I love Hancock. Hancock's probably my favorite woman in all of One Piece. But the reason why I love that scene so much is because Hancock's like, "Oh my God, a man!" And he saw my the slave tattoo.
Yeah, the slave tattoo.
And then she was like, "I'm gonna freeze you with my marrow. What's it called? The bean."
Yeah, that's
and Luffy's
why.
Luffy's like, Mhm. Okay. And then she does it again. She's like, "Huh? It didn't work." Does it again. He's like, like, what are you trying to do? So for me, that scene was crazy because it's just like, you really think that your charm is gonna work on Luffy, who has no appetite for any type of female affection at all? It blew my mind. I was like, wow, because it's me in that situation. You know, my ass would have been frozen.
More ways than
I
one.
would have been stoned, bro.
Yeah, more ways than one.
Crazy. More ways than one, bro.
Whoa, okay.
I would have been gone.
I mean, fair point. Yeah.
Wouldn't have made it.
That's
that
why
far.
I love it. And that's not the only scene that really gets it for me. Remember the time when Luffy's it's like an arena and he has to fight
Big ass panther and her sisters.
yeah, big ass panther, her sisters, and all that. That scene also was a killer for me because it was like they're really underestimating this guy. They think he's, just a random dude who's not important.
Mhm.
And it's not until the grandma finds out, I think it was a newspaper that sends it in, right? That flies in, that Luffy's actually a like that's somebody important. And yeah, Luffy destroys them. Not really destroys them. He was kind of losing in the beginning, I think,
And
but then he
a burst
eventually
of the Conqueror's Haki.
Conqueror's Haki. That scene was crazy with the Conqueror's Haki.
It's really one of the first times you see.
that you see it.
We don't even know what it is. We've seen Rayleigh use it, and then we see Luffy use it, and that we still don't know even what Haki is at that
At
point.
that point, yeah.
I have no idea what he's doing. I have no idea if it's just those two, if there's more people who can do that.
Oh, there's one scene though where I feel like it wasn't necessarily introduced, but it was more of they give you like a snippet, but you didn't know what it was at first, or even a thought about it. When Shanks saved Luffy from the sea monster, and it
That's more. That's more like.
no, not Conquerors, not
Hindsight.
hindsight. Yeah,
That's more like. That's something we thought was just like Shanks being scary and be like, go off.
yeah.
But now that we have hindsight, you can be like, oh, maybe it was Conqueror's Haki.
Yeah.
But at that point in the story, it was Rayleigh who did it, and Luffy. And we have no idea what it was, no idea what he's doing.
Yep. And when he did there, everybody was like,
Oh, I think someone says like, oh, he's
Yeah.
a conqueror.
yeah.
And then it's just like,
It was the old lady, I think.
yeah, he's like, oh, he's a conqueror. It's like, what
And
does
we were
that
like,
even
what is a
mean?
conqueror? What is that?
It was like, he's just a little rubber idiot
Exactly. So
who just loves meat. Shut up.
Married to meat. Oh,
pause.
I mean,
But,
he is married to meat though.
yeah. And Luffy does snag her heart, Hancock's heart. You have the woman who's basically considered the prettiest, most beautiful woman in the world and is now in love with you, and he doesn't pay no mind. Actually, there was one scene, I don't know if you remember that one scene. Remember, it was in the dub. It was in the dub. This was when they were on their way to Impel down because they were trying to save Shanks, right?
No,
Oh, not Shanks, Ace. Sorry.
Yes, they were trying to save.
They were trying to save Ace, and they were on the ship, and I think Luffy was with Hancock, and Hancock was trying to like feed him or something.
Yes.
She was asking for food, and then fuck, I forgot who the guy was. This is some random dude.
It was a random.
It was a
Marine.
reporter. Was it a reporter or was it just somebody who?
I think he was like, I don't know, just writing down information about the ship. Like he was very suspicious about what was going on.
Yeah, because Luffy was eating in there and he was hearing like noises, I think, or something, like hearing Hancock talk, and then he was just like writing down. He's like, it's a bit of a turn on.
Yeah, I was like, what? I was like,
who let the dub do this?
like the dub is sometimes be out of pocket. I'm like, listen,
wild.
I usually watch in sub, but like originally I watched in dub, like, you know, as I was younger. And I got to that point, I'm like, yo, what is he saying right now? That's flagrant, bro. Come on now. Oh my days.
I swapped. I swapped from, because I did the dub too, but then I swapped from dub to sub when the dub didn't catch up, obviously, because, you know, there's a disparity. But like at that point, I was like, bro, what? And every single like episode after that point was like out of pocket. Like there was somebody saying some dumb shit in the dub. Like remember in the war, remember when it was like a big wave?
Yeah, it was a big wave.
And algae like froze it. And there was like a Marine who came out. He was like, bro, how are we supposed to fight this? I'm like, I know for a fact the sub did not say that. Yo, that shit was funny. But yeah, so we're right now we're in the ship, right? And we're heading to Impel Down to save Ace, because we think that Ace is there because he's kept there until he gets transferred over to his execution place, which is going to happen at the headquarters.
Well, yeah, they said that he got captured because Blackbeard was the one that
captured.
that captured.
Yeah, I think that's how Luffy found out through the newspaper on Amazon Lily that Ace was captured and brought to Impel Down.
Right. And then I think I forgot what it was. I don't know if you can remember, but the reason why the old lady wanted Hancock to actually try and help Luffy, I forgot what it was, but it was something, because obviously Hancock wanted to help Luffy no matter what. Yeah. Oh wait, no, I know what it was.
Oh yeah, because she had
a disease.
She had a disease.
It was a love disease.
It was a love disease.
She was in love, and apparently like people, you know, within her family was having that all the time, and even the old lady had it too.
Yeah.
And you have to like go with him or something, because you will die if you're not with him, or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like,
well, I think it might have been something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I was like, wow, it's that deep, huh?
Wow, this is stupid.
Yeah, I was like, this is stupid, but hey, this is how we're gonna get Luffy over to Impel Down, so let's do it. So
wow, this is stupid, but it's One Piece, so I guess it's fine.
And then when they to get to Impel Down, remember Luffy had to hide in her like dress, skirt, whatever.
Yeah.
And he was holding onto her legs, and he was like moving, and she just couldn't sit still.
Yeah, she was like,
oh, you see, it's her blushing.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, all right, let's calm down.
Hold on,
now,
hold on, guys, let's calm down.
You a freak for putting that much thought into that.
Listen, told you it's my favorite arc, so I got, you know what I'm saying. But Impel Down,
rub your hands.
Don't rub your hands.
But Impel Down was good, because
another 20 episodes of Luffy running for Ace.
Basically, running for Ace. He has to deal with what's his name? That poison warden.
Magellan.
Magellan. Yeah, he had to deal with him.
Without Ivankov, they would have just died.
Yeah, he would have died, because in the first fight he loses, right? He gets poisoned, and then he ends up in, I forgot what level it was.
3.5.
Impel Down had levels. It was 3.5, right?
Yeah, for Ivankov's territory, I think it was like 3.5.
Yeah, I do like the backstory that they did have there for everybody who Revolutionary Army and etc.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Was there any key moments from Impel Down that you would have?
Not particularly. The most goofy one was when he's got the boxing gloves and feet for Mr. 3.
Yeah, for Mr. 3.
But I think the best one is when he's standing face to face with Blackbeard again.
Oh, right.
Well, no, when he finally meets Blackbeard. Not even again.
Yeah.
When he finally stands face to face with Blackbeard.
Yeah. That was something. And at that point, Blackbeard already, he was kind of like trying to release people to recruit for his thing.
He's trying to get to level 6
Didn't he get that
recruit.
dude, that one guy, the one with the...
Shiryu. If you're talking
wasn't
about
he an old warden?
Yeah, Shiryu.
He used to be the old warden, right? Yeah, him. Yeah, I don't know, Blackbeard. That whole situation, it's like everything just culminates around Luffy. To be fair, he's the main character, but still.
No, that whole arc revolves around...
It's just nothing but, absolutely.
But yeah, Magellan's a poison. He's poison as fuck. That poison is crazy.
He's also got a shitting problem because he can't stop drinking poison.
Yep.
On the toilet every 30 minutes.
Every 30 minutes. But then after that,
we've all been there.
Wait.
Luffy makes it out because of.
You never had stomach issues?
Huh?
You never had stomach issues? Don't mock Magellan.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
right. You're right. But not every 30 minutes though.
You got
At
the flu
least once in
sometimes.
a blue moon. Oh yeah.
All right, I can attest to that. Like whenever I drink whole milk, I'm on.
Well, yeah. That's fair. You are lactose intolerant, so I can see that.
Poison is his whole milk. You leave Magellan alone.
Damn, man.
He's just a little dumb. It's all right.
Yo. But yeah, after Impel down, that's when we're at Marineford.
That's the war.
Wait. We can't skip over my boy.
Talk the talk. I'm here.
What you got, homie?
Bon Clay.
Bon Clay!
All right, I can't.
That's my dude.
Bon Clay!
He sacrificed. He made sure that they got across and that the door was open for them to go into Marineford. What do you mean?
You're right.
That's my
You
guy.
can't skip Don Clay.
Nakama. Like, come on now.
You're right.
Nakama.
You're right.
Nah, that's what's up, Clean Bean. That's what's up. Nah, Bon Clay really did.
Mark
Come
Hayes, the
through.
MVP for
MVP.
for just Ennie's lobby. Not Ennie's lobby. Fucking. Can't think of goddamn name.
Facts. And then we're at Marineford.
Yes.
Yes. Flying out the sky.
Flying out the sky.
Why am I screaming? I'm made of rubber. I'll be fine.
The whole war arc, let me just see how many episodes it was. It was technically, I guess we're looking at this 457 to 489. So we're basically looking at solid, practically 30 episodes of just war and stuff.
So much longer.
It felt longer than that because so much was happening in the war. But to be fair, 30 episodes seems like, I mean, that's, if you think about it in anime terms, that's like 2 straight seasons, if not more, of content.
Yeah.
It,
That's it.
depending on if you're going through the 12 season we had.
Yep, facts. Do you have any favorite moments from the war?
Yes. When Dofi corners Moria.
Oh, yeah.
Dofi, my two favorite moments involve Dofi. With his speech when he finally corners Moria.
You know, that's fair. That's fair.
What about you, Clean?
I want to say it's between either Mihawk or even Luffy when he gets sent by Jinbei, like with the
Oh, that's a
soldier
good
girl.
moment.
That's a good scene.
That's a scene.
I love that scene. I love that scene so much.
The animation style changes
Because they
too right
pulled
there.
up, animation type change, and he had like, wasn't like a wooden
A log.
log,
Yeah.
and he was just looking up, and all you see are the 3 admirals sitting there like this, looking down at him. I'm like, yo, it gave me chills. Along the lines of, remember when Luffy, this is later on down the line, we're going to talk about this in part 2, but like Luffy stands up to 2 emperors?
Yes.
2 emperors? How are you?
He stands there just
Bro.
between them.
I'm just like, yo, this man is crazy.
You didn't learn that yet?
You just reminded of it, and sometimes it just takes a reminder to put you back into perspective. It's like, what the? But yeah, it was crazy, man. It was crazy.
Crazy bastard.
Obviously, goated death. Whitebeard.
Yeah.
When I tell you, I don't think I've ever seen anybody take that much punishment and still be alive.
I think they list his injuries before he died. I think they list his injuries. I can't remember the exact numbers, but they go through and say what he endured before he died.
All I know is that it was an absurd amount of injuries. Actually, let me see if I can find it right now. I'm about to search it.
It was
Whitebeard injuries. Go
None
ahead,
to
Queen
his
Bean.
it was none to his
Back, not a single injury. There was never a scar on his back.
Never a scar on his back.
Never was not a single one.
He lost half his head.
Half his head to a
Yeah,
kind of.
melted to a kainu. His eyes. He lost his left eye. Yep.
Mm,
Mustache. He lost the left side of his mustache.
yes.
And what is this? Sustained
Yeah.
a large hole in his torso.
Yeah.
We did see that. There was 267 sword wounds. 267.
Yeah.
152 bullet wounds. 46 cannonballs.
I'm getting louder. Are you yelling at me?
And stabbed in the chest by Squard.
Fuck Squad, first of all.
Yeah, fuck Sword.
Whitebeard is goaded.
As he screams.
Damn.
And he died standing up.
Yeah, that was hard. That was hard.
As he screams.
He died standing up. Bro, I can't. I'm about to like I'm about to burst out into tears. This is emotional. How do you do that? How strong do you have to be?
By being the world's strongest man.
He's like, I will never fall, even in death. Basically.
My God. I don't know, man. It's a sad thing. It's a sad thing for me, but it's whatever. I love Whitebeard, and his death is further emphasized when we see, you know, Shanks pull up and he's like, "Listen, an emperor just died.
You can stop fighting.
Ace died too.
Fight me.
Ace died too. Honestly, Ace's death for me, it did hit me hard,
Didn't know me long enough.
but I didn't know him. I didn't have enough of Ace to really. I cared, of course I cared. Why did I care? Because of Luffy's emotions. How do you feel about that? You're wearing the Ace hat right now. How do you feel?
Okay, so you got introduced to him as a character in Alabasta, right? Like, seeing that kind of brotherly love, I will say, for sure. I was like, yo, this gives me, like, you know, chills. I was like, yo, I'm thinking about my only brother, right here. And then you get introduced to him again when Blackbeard finds him. And, like, it's a fight between fire and darkness. That was cold. Gets arrested. Ends up being executed. Well, not really. Failed execution attempt. And then I just didn't like the way that he died. Like,
It was his own fault. That's why.
we could have, all this hard work, we could have went home, but you literally had to go and be like, hey, yo, I don't like the disrespect that you just did to me. Like, you responded to your dad joke, basically, but not even your dad. Your stepdad is ass. Like, yo, stepdad?
Yo,
Sir.
that's crazy.
Sir, stop. Stop. It's unnecessary. It's really unnecessary.
I agree. Like I understand why it happened. Luffy needed the growth, but it was just his own fault.
Yeah.
Almost as if it was kind of like a scapegoat death to basically use that emphasis for Luffy, but I don't really like it.
Like it was. I know it was used for his growth, but it could have been done differently.
Yeah, I feel like he could have gotten injured and just never be able to do anything again, and then
Yeah,
Luffy
take-
would still
Take his arm or something.
or that
Don't donut hole him.
yeah donut hole. Yo, but yeah, yo,
I don't know what him and Akaza's deal is with donuts.
Yeah.
that's crazy. But yeah, well, and then after that, you know, it's really just post-war. Everything's
Just really just the crew finding out.
yeah, and everything's just it's just different, you know, and I think that's the turning point in the show. You know what? That's probably where we'll end it today. Why do I think so? Because that is the turning point of the show. Everything changes, and this is right before the 2-year gap. And then there is a 2-year gap where Luffy goes to train with Rayleigh, but he is out of it. He
Yeah.
is completely out of it because he just lost his brother. But regardless, that growth happens. That growth in that period, and it's something important to recognize.
I will say the most important scene was Jinbei.
Oh, when he's getting him off the island.
Yeah,
When he's getting him off the island, when he's breaking down, he you know, physically conscious, and he's like, "Where's Ace? Where's Ace?" Going nuts. And who calms him down? Who lets him know?
Jinbei.
Listen, I understand something bad just happened. I understand your world is shattered, but you need to pick up the pieces and start moving forward, bruh. Come on.
honestly, that's how I knew. At that point, I knew I was like, Jinbei, you got to be a member of the crew right now.
You have to.
you have to be on this crew right now.
I
Obviously,
can't.
that happens later, but like still,
I can't wait for that moment. either.
goddamn. Yeah. Anything you wanted to say to the squad dynasty?
No, I'm good.
You good? Yes, listen, it's been a good episode. I'm glad you came on.
Happy
Talk
to be
One
here.
Piece. Yeah, I'm happy too. Listen, man, we're gonna have you on probably for a couple more episodes. Not too sure which episodes, but we'll figure it out. And we'll just go from there. But like I said, thanks for pulling up.
All right, bro. No problem.
Dab
Let's
is
go.
clean.
Good work. That was a good
Hell
one. man.
yeah. All right, y'all. Anime Intervention. Like and subscribe. We will see you next time. Thank you for 200 subscribers. I think we're getting close to 250 as well. So we're cooking.
All right.
Calculated.